Hi students, this is just a quick overview of the English 12A Credit 4 performance task. Keep in mind for these performance tasks, when you're reading the book Sold, you will actually complete the rough draft of the performance task in Credit 4, and you will finalize those performance task parts for Credit 5. That does mean that you have to turn in Credit 4 and get feedback on the rough draft before you can continue on to credit 5. So it's actually one performance task split into credits 4 and 5. So please do not pick two separate things from this page that you're viewing right here and complete two of those for credit 4 and then again for credit 5. So let me go over this real quick. For credit 4 of the sold credits, you're reading the first half of the book. You are going to essentially create two products, the rough drafts of two products. So you can see the prompt here. You're talking about social and cross-cultural skills. This is in regards to human trafficking, which is talked about in the book. Your product is going to be at least two of the following. So you can do more than two, but no fewer than two. So you're going to pick two of these. The first one, A, you can prepare a report about human trafficking. This can be a PowerPoint, a Prezi, a Google Slides presentation, anything that is visual that you could present. You can create that for that multimedia presentation. The second option here is a PSA, a public service announcement. In other words, when you're driving down the highway and you see on the side of the road a billboard for click it or ticket, that is a public service announcement. You can see there's a message on there. The message is brought to you by a particular company or organization. And then there's images to show the impact of what they're trying to portray through that public service announcement. You can also Google PSA on the internet and look for some great public service announcements. Check those out there. Option number 3, or C, you can write a letter to your principal requesting a speaking engagement. So for example, you could write a letter to your principal asking for Patricia McCormick to come and present information about human trafficking and about her book Sold to the other students at your school and the teachers as well. Keep in mind, if you do the letter, you have to have that in letter format. If you need help with that, let me know. Option D, design a brochure or a poster advertising the book Sold. That is exactly what it sounds like. When you go to a movie theater and you see posters for the movies that are upcoming, you want to do the same thing, but for the book to make people want to read it. Same thing goes for a brochure. If you need help for how to format those, let me know. E is a survey for your classmates. This is something that you would have to actually give to classmates. This might be hard while we're remote learning, but it is still an option. If you'd like to know more about how to use Google Forms to push out that survey to classmates, we can talk about that, and then we can show you how to do a graph or a chart to go along with the results. Option F is a book review. So just like when movie critics watch movies or food critics eat food and they give these critiques or these reviews of the the movies or the food that they eat, you are going to be doing the exact same thing for Sold. So basically you will have to read it and provide a review or a critique of why or why not someone should read it. Option G is a compare and contrast essay, is exactly what you would think it would be. You're going to be writing an essay about the book as compared to a documentary. Okay, the documentary that's on here is actually on YouTube and Netflix. It's still available. I have checked. However, I would strongly recommend if you're under 18, please tell your parents that this is something that you've chosen because it does have very strong language and some adult content as well. Make sure that you get that permission before you go ahead with that, and also let me know that you've let your parents know if that is the option that you choose so I can check into it to make sure that your parents are okay with it. Option H is an optional choice. You can discuss your ideas and get permissions from me if you have something that is not on this product page. I've had quite a few students reach out to me and say, hey, this is a great idea. Can I try and do this? The option is yes. You just have to talk to me about it first. Okay, so just a quick recap. You're going to pick 2 or more of these options from this page, which is page 37 in your packet for credit 4 of the sold packets for English 12A. And you're going to do the rough drafts for those, which means they're not going to be perfect when you turn them in with this credit, and that is okay. I just want to see what you're working with and provide you with some feedback. So real quick, I'm just going to walk you through the rest of this for your rough drafts. So you're going to complete this page, the performance task student planning sheet. I really want you to pick one from each box. So if you're doing a multimedia report, I don't want you to also do a brochure, a PSA, and a survey. I want you to do one of the ones from the second box over here. Likewise, if you pick a book review, I don't want you to also do the letter to the principal or the compare and contrast book and documentary essay, because the things on the right are very heavy intensive for writing, and the things on the left are very heavy in the presentation, so the visual portion. So I'd like one visual and one writing. Then you're going to set a goal. What do you want to accomplish? What's the point of you choosing those 2 things? What do you want people to understand after you're done? Your action plan, where, when, how will you complete your performance task? Map it out. Are you going to do this at home? You want to try and do it in one day? You want to try and do it over the week? You tell me. That's what that box is for. Materials and resources. This is just a checklist to make sure that I can get you everything you need for this performance task if you don't already have it. It's also a great way for you to check and make sure that you have everything that you need to create the performance task. And then the notes box is exactly what it is. It's just notes that you need. Could be a timeline, could be things that you need to pick up or questions you need to ask me, but please use this entire page because you will be graded. It's worth 20 points. The rough draft review is for me to do. So once you've turned in the rough drafts with your packet, I will actually go through on this and provide you with feedback. And when everything is said and done and graded, I will return the packet to you in Google Classroom or via email, depending on how you submit it, so that you can see my feedback. I'm going to go through this entire list 1 through 10, say yes, you did it, no, you did not, and I will leave you comments as well. Down here, I'll leave you additional comments and suggestions and feedback if I need to, and I can also do another video for you as well. I'll make sure that I sign it. And then that's it for the instructions. The rest of the pages for this is just performance task resources. So you'll see as you scroll through these guidelines for creating a PSA, just some ideas on how to create that PSA and how to make sure that you hit all the points that are needed in a PSA. There's one for the book review, how to write a book review, the steps that you would go through for that. There's also tips for comparing a film and a book. So if you choose to do that, here's some tips on how to write that essay. There's also a sample in case you need a little more help. There's also an outline for that because it is very heavy in the writing. So if you need to use this outline, please do so. It'll help when you write. And then on to the last thing was the credit closer, which ends the credit. And then the rubrics, of course, are after this. But I'm not going to go over those because I have spent roughly 9 minutes explaining this to you. Feel free to replay it, ask me questions, send me messages in Google Classroom or via email. And if there's anything else that you need, please reach out and let me know. Happy writing. Talk to you guys later. Bye.